Quiet that night, just the hum of the neon sign and the clink of old Gus stirring his coffee. It was the kind of night where time felt slow, like the world was waiting for something. Then, the door creaked open. A man stepped in, tall, pale, wearing a suit that looked too crisp for a place like this. His shoes didn't squeak on the floor. He didn't track in mud despite the rain outside, and his eyes... well, something about them made Gus tighten his grip on his mug. The waitress Rosie forced a smile. "What can I get you, hon?" The man glanced at the menu but didn't touch it. "Just coffee, black." Rosie poured it, but Gus noticed something. The steam curled away from the man, like even the heat didn't want to be near him. The man sat across from Gus, tapping the table with thin, precise fingers. "Mind if I join you?" Gus took a slow sip. "Free country," the man smiled, "so they say." For a while, they just sat in silence. The rain hit the windows harder, the neon flickered. Gus had lived long enough to recognize when something wasn't right, and this man, he wasn't right. Finally, Gus sighed. "All right, fella, let's skip the small talk. Who are you, and why's my gut telling me I ain't supposed to be looking at you?" The man's smile widened. "Too much. You're perceptive." Gus just waited. The man folded his hands. "I'm here because someone made a mistake." Gus raised an eyebrow. "That so?" The man nodded. "You ever hear the saying, 'Some doors shouldn't be opened'?" Gus snorted. "Yeah, and I've lived long enough to know people open 'em anyway." The man chuckled. "Yes, they do." The lights flickered again. The diner's radio, which had been off, crackled to life. Static at first. Then, a voice. Panicked, muffled. "Don't know how it got out. Shut it down now." Rosie frowned. "What the hell?" She twisted the dial, but the voice kept going, like it wasn't coming from the radio at all. Gus didn't take his eyes off the man. "That got anything to do with you?" The man leaned forward. "Someone let something slip through. A thing that doesn't belong, and now it's looking for a way back." Gus felt the air grow heavier. "And you? What's your part in all this?" The man's fingers tapped the table again. Tap, tap, tap. "I fix mistakes." Just then, the diner's door swung open, but there was no wind. And outside, no road, no rain, just nothing. Rosie gasped. The cook in the back cursed. "Gus?" He just sighed and took another sip of coffee. "Well," he muttered, "this ain't good." The man stood, buttoning his suit. "No, it isn't." The static voice in the radio screamed, and then the lights went out.